numbers and then saying poor connection still.
Yeah, well, I'm just refreshing mine.
So I don't know. So it goes at the top here, it flashes from good. Like your mobile phone's got a dot and two little curve things.
Yeah.
And it shows as being good.
Oh, here we go.
And then goes down to 1 and says poor connection.
Now it's worked. Now you're on.
Take 2. All those New Zealand jokes I told, no one heard them. That'd be right. I was on a roll.
Yeah, Mel's back.
Hello, Mel. Yeah, we had technical difficulties. All those extra walls, and the modem's just behind me. So we're going to have to run the extension through. You were still sitting there in the old one. I just took you into our bedroom, Mel, and it went all funny. Must have been my heart rate. Hello, Junker. I don't know what you saw. Probably froze up. So, but yeah, I showed you the garden even, but probably didn't say that either.
No.
Give Mel a quick look at the garden.
Yeah,
You were at the brickwork. I can't zoom in. There, tomato bushes, chili, capsicum, lettuce, blah blah blah. Over there, cucumber, right there. They've gone mad. That's a cherry tomato. That's week 5 of the garden. Looking pretty good. Bit better than Awesome's garden, I imagine. Yeah. So I'll put you back the other way. Scott Morrison sorted the internet. Yeah, what he did was we were actually having the internet, Kiwi, right up to the house.
Oh,
Scott said, we're not having any of that. No, they put it in the pit. We've got the old copper, you know, the 120-year-old copper, how effective that is. Yeah, good on you, Scott. It's kind of you. So we pay for top quality internet services and we get this intermittent 120-year-old delivery copper system.
As soon as we go past the wall, so we're going to have to, you know the modem, we can have that moved to the, do you think the office?
No, I think you should keep it in the open.
In the kitchen now.
Yeah, probably kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know where it can go, where we'll get the whole house.
But the first 8 weeks have gone quick. What is it, nearly November? I think February, if we're lucky, we'll be finished. There's lots of knick-knacks and paddywhacks to do yet, like tying the roof, plastering, timber boards going down, nice old jarrah, patio. I've put a little sign in the corner next to the barbecue. Mel's domain. Well, Mel's hubby's domain, by the sounds of it. He does most of the barbecuing. Just give you a little sneak. She sits on the floor. Got a perfectly good chair she can use.
I know, but I like to sit down here. You know why? Because I'm out of the wind.
She likes to do the guru thing. Oh boy. These old doors, they're really old, the ones that came from the old school. And the old door furniture is really big and cumbersome. Mate, it took me ages to get it out. It hasn't been out for 100 years. Smoking, bad for you, seeds. I'm drinking, smoking and typing. Oh, the trifecta. Well done. Oh, we have the odd drink. Not much. We bought a carton of 2 years old, oh God, a month ago. Must be half a carton at least left. More?
No.
Is it about half?
Less.
No, that's alright. Nice drop. And we've got some strawberries over there. And there actually is some strawberries on it. If you
I
want to go.
tasted one today. It was sour as hell.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. The soil is always what you get the flavour from. So we can always move them come January.
I'd like hanging pots. My
Yeah.
strawberries in a hanging pots.
There's a way of growing strawberries in what they call like the Garden of Babylon, where you have like a pot but it's tilted about
Yes.
45 degrees.
Yeah.
Then you plant them in and they all hang down.
And they won't get affected by the dirt and bugs on them because
Oh no, the buggers still get them.
you're not as bad as in the garden though.
Probably not as bad, no. Mind you, with homemade, can't reach it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to go in the big bottle. This is a big bottle. Organic pesticide. Yeah, I know what it looks like. But it's chilies and garlic. And a tiny little bit of soap. And as soon as the bugs smell that, they go, oh, gee, oh. Works a treat. What it is was a big handful of chilies, big handful of garlic, smashed with it, you know, meat cleaver but the smooth bit, in a bag, smash them up, chuck them in a bucket, add tiny little bit of, you can use dishwashing liquid if you like, but pure soap's the go. And then what you do is you put 2 kettles worth, which is about, in our case, 3 litres of boiling water, and then you stir it around, and then you leave it for 3 days, but each day a couple of times you give it a bit of a stir, and it's like an Italian kitchen, but it works. And that 3 litres, I won't use all of that in a garden, because the only time I use it, I'll go over and see, oh, little bugs, and in a little sprayer. So that concentrate I made, I probably put half water, half concentrate, and just spray the problem area, which is I don't spray it unless I see a problem. I've only sprayed twice. I saw a couple of little white cabbage moths landing. They seriously came back and they go, ooh, that stinks, ooh. Got any organic weed killer? There is a real simple one. As long as you don't try and kill your good plants, if you just get boiling water, you try it. Just get a little patch of weed and get a kettle and just put a bit of boiling water over the top. 2 days later they go, oh geez, I don't feel well. Works. Or you can pull the buggers out. There are some organic weed killers, but they cost a fortune from the stores. I've always used this method. Oh, weed. What's the link to? Oh, the organic pesticide.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. She's putting a link in there if you want to see it, Mel. It's very simple. What it is, when you go into that 3 litre bottle, which is an old Coles orange fresh juice bottle, when you first put the lid on, you don't tighten it up, you have it like it's loose, because there's a process of a mild fermentation that takes place. Because if you put the lid on, and you put the bottle in the cupboard, and then one time, about 3 in the morning, you'll never get rid of the smell.
Oh, God.
But just undo it, if need be, just put it out the back, in the shed, side the shed, not in direct sunlight. And then after about a week, you can put the lid on. In other words, it's gone through that gassing and fermentation. It's only a mild fermentation. Yeah, no, I've always used this. This method is really old for me. It's very simple, and it will kill aphids. But and that's the little bit of soap you put in the mixture, tiny bit. What happens is when you spray it, the pungency of the garlic and the chilies certainly makes them go, oh geez, and they get out of there, but it's the smell. And you watch the butterflies go, oh, no, let's bugger off. So you stop them at the process. But I don't spray that like every day or every week. I only go, well, the wife will say, oh, there's a couple of cabbage moths over there, gone. So, and no one's ever going to die from eating food that's got slight spray of chili and garlic on it. You can even spray it like if you're growing tomatoes, you're worried about little bugs getting to them, you can spray them every few days if you want to, just on the actual tomato growing. Bugs won't go near it. But the soil there is not very good. When I build my garden beds, raised beds, do really good soil going in there, good drainage, lots of shit. Shit's the answer to all of your prayers in the garden. And like cooking, if you give the plants a really good base of good quality soil, they'll give you back good quality veggies. This is crap soil, which we've added minimal things to it to get a season in for Awesome to show her. Because the space that I grew, or are growing her garden, is what space she has. Am I buffering or?
No, it's just lag.
Ah, okay. Hello, Jojo. Which way is the toilet in this chat? Well, if you're in Thailand, you'd say Hong Nam, which means where's the toilet? Hong Nam. There's 3 in there, Jojo. Take your pick. Just, don't do it on the carpet. All right? If you don't mind. A couple of videos back in my channel is the wife and the daughter. Well, the daughter's just come back from Thailand.
Oh yeah, Mel, did you watch that video?
And she bought these twisties, and they're just normal looking twisties, but they make your tongue turn blue, and they can't be good. It's obviously a chemical reaction of some sort happening. But the daughter had one twisty, and the wife had one twisty, blue tongue, like a lizard. There she is.
I'm out of the wind down here.
On a very small porch. See this? Tiny little porch, which will be much bigger later. If you're man, Jojo, the toilet's anywhere outside. That's right, there's a shovel around the corner.
No, that's alright camping, but not friggin' in your backyard. Kiwi, stop giving him ideas.
But temperature's been really good. We've been, cool. It's 22 today. That was pretty cool. Got a jumper on.
Because you're showing your knee. I haven't seen Alabella for a while.
Yeah, that's actually a little bit of varnish. So I've been varnishing and kneeling down on drippy bits of varnish. I have to give it the old scrubby-dub-dub. But the door I finished today was the side entry door at the back. It's got nice little kookaburra glass in it and all sorts of things. And that's there's 5 coats of varnish on each side. So it's weatherproof, definitely.
And around the edges too, yeah?
Only on the side edges, because I've got to wait to see if they shave anything off the bottom or top.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll just pull the door off when they're finished and leave it off for a day, just varnish twice, and that should be enough.
Well, maybe they can do that, take it on and off for you.
No, I can do that easy enough. It's all done, it's all fixed. You just got to undo the hinges. You take the hinges off the door, not the wall, when you're rehanging. That way you can, even behind the hinges, you can put a bit of varnish within reason. Yes, Moses came down the mount with 4 tablets. He did trip, Jojo, but he figured 2 was better than none. You know what I mean? Could have happened. Very rocky. A bit nervous after the big flaming bush and all. I mean, maybe there were 4, but you got 2. Wonder what the 20th commandment would have been. Thou shalt not trip down the mount with 4 tablets. Remember watching a Monty Python sketch, and one guy, they're doing a monologue, and he's saying, I wonder why there was 2 tablets Moses brought down the mountain. I mean, surely they could have inscribed a bit smaller and just had the one. What did Jojo say?
Jojo, yes.
My girlfriend broke up with me, so I took her wheelchair. Guess who came crawling back? Yeah. That's one way. It's called entrapment. It's probably a crime, Jojo. So all these things in life now, like there was a sign at a rehab centre, and it said physically impaired unit, not disabled unit, physically impaired.
I think that sounds worse than disabled.
Yeah.
That really does.
Some weird things. And I just like language to be simple so people understand.
Milk comes in threes.
The dryer just died.
I don't even
After
have
the
a
hot
dryer.
water system, after the fridge. You got good insurance, haven't you, Mel? We're getting 2 hot water systems, new ones put on. I think it's a couple of 2.2 or something, 2.2 grand. But one of the units will just be for the 2 back en-suites, and the other one will be for the other part of the house.
And they'll be separate.
There's a patent on one line. He's invisible. Well, tell him I can't see him right now. Woohoo! These jokes are off the streets from 1940. Fresh off the press.
Just keep it clean, Jojo.
Okay, we said I took tablets and tripped. Does that make me religious? Well, it makes you psychedelically enhanced with the universe. Sure, why? Because you see all these stars. Groovy.
Have this and go make the rolls because I'm a bit hungry.
Tonight's dinner is going to be
A salad roll.
wholemeal roll with
Salad. And
salad, lettuce, beetroot, cheese, red onion, and what are you going to put on there?
I didn't even check if there was red onion.
Oh, maybe not red onion. It's true. It's always funny. You're driving along in a car, and woo 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 woo, and the lights on, and it goes past you. You think, shit, I better put my seatbelt on now. I've had 2 speeding tickets in my life. One was week 1 of getting my license. Week 2, we bought a car and I just wanted to test it up to about 130k. And came in the other day, was a cop with a radar. Got me. That's true. Now you're not writing these jokes, Jojo.
That's very quick, Jojo.
But you should actually do a hangout with those old jokes because they are funny. Probably just for old people like me and you. Well, you're not old. You're sort of like you're getting there, Joe. You're not old. I'm not saying you're old, and you're in fairly good shape for a pencil, and you're not old at all. But you're getting there. So all these jokes perfect for older people. Mel wouldn't get them. She's far too young. Kiwi wouldn't get him. He's too young. Can I borrow a paper? Danke.
Okay, I'm going to go and start the rolls in a minute.
Danke. Paper. I'm starting on some of the old. I've started on some of the old school doors today. They won't be as hard, I don't think, as doing the new one. Pretty sure, underneath they look like they're Oregon. The grain of the timber. And that's the stain that's on it. And in this first 8 weeks, people will get to see the brickwork going up. It looks like a lot's happening fast, but when you get to plate height, then you've got the roof involved and it looks like it slows down a bit, but it's not. It's just the process slows down as far as the visual. I'm old. The only thing I can run from is the ghosts that chase me. eBay. So used. I tried to look up lighters and they had those 13 matches. Thick and fast. They're coming, Jojo. Spring, summer just means we drink outside now instead of inside. That's true. Mind you, you're still having a few cool nights, I reckon, Kiwi. So it happens in New Zealand. You think, oh, you little ripper, 22 degrees, and then in the morning it's 0. Because summer arrives in New Zealand, but it tends to disappear every now and then. Beautiful place. You guys have never been anywhere in the world, and I'm an Australian, but if I say go and visit a country, it'll be New Zealand. You'll fall in love with it. It's a beautiful country. You're never going to run short of a drink. All the Kiwis like Kiwi State. There's always a few beers hanging around. Hello, Patty. Wife's just gone inside to make our dinner. She's cooking salad sandwiches because I can't be bothered cooking and I'm looking at the missus, so that will suffice. Got up early this morning to get that first coat of varnish on, but then I could put the second coat on about 3 o'clock this afternoon. But we got a bit of cloud and we had a little sprinkle of rain. It wasn't a lot of rain. You know, you just maybe might have got a bit damp. But pink and grey galahs. You know, summer's coming here when you get an influx of the black galah, the pink and grey galah, the corellas. They're all parrots, by the way. We always have what we call green parrots or 28s, but all the bush cockies come into the coast as it gets warmer because it's cooler here, and that's what they do. Yes, that was the ghost chasing you, Jojo. So yeah, so not much else other than the extensions happening, a little bit of gardening, lots of sanding, varnish, sanding, varnish, repeat, keep repeating. Flaming galah. I think I know who Alf Stewart is. Isn't that Hoff, Home and Away or something, which I don't watch. I've just watched Alf sell chili, who actually advertised for an internet company. Flaming, no one talks like that here. That's Dad and Dave stuff. Dad? What, Dave? There's no sheep in the top paddock. I'll blame your mother for that. Dad and Dave, old radio show. You should go and try and listen to an episode or two and you'll hear just what Kiwi said about Alf Stewart. How they used to talk. All I did was take a day off. Mate, you got to do a hangout. Got to do a hangout. Get them all laid out in front of you. Get your audience in. And call the hangout, just a suggestion, just for laughs. How's that? Didn't even pay you any marketing fees for that one, Jojo. Just for laughs. Spend an hour or whatever telling funny jokes. People can go back to it. Watch it any time they like. Well, a lot of the time, I'm in bed when your hangouts come on, Jojo. So, and for some reason, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, I don't get any notifications at all now. I've got to go flick through them and go, oh yeah, Jojo's had a hangout. Press the bell. Done that. No notification. Kiwi Steve, no cheap talk, Mr. Suze. You will get me too turned on. Okay. Two sheep were walking in a New Zealand street late at night? No, it's probably not the time. No, definitely not the time to tell that joke. Yeah, just for laughs. I reckon that'd be a good title for a video. If you were brave, you'd stand in front of the camera and tell them with, you know, an old 1940s hat, trench coat, walking cane maybe, lamppost. I'm singing in the rain. Because videos like that, people go and watch, and it's not live, it's just a video you make for fun. And like I say, I appreciate all the old jokes. They're funny because they play on words. So, and they have double entendre. If you didn't understand that, just type double on. You don't know how to spell entendre, but don't worry about it. They have two meanings, all right? Two meanings. One subject, maybe three meanings in some cases. Well, that sounds like a perfect... You know what, in life, Jojo, and I'm good at some things. And when you're good at something and you can make a living out of it, in my case, you're not only doing what you want to do and having fun doing it, you're making a living. And something like, if you're good at writing, particularly jokes, a lot of the time you may not have the delivery to deliver the joke. But there are plenty of comedians, and I'm sure you know what I'm saying, who pay writers. They really do. Some comedians don't have any material themselves. Sounds good? Yeah, a lot of comedians run on a theme. One of the funniest comedians for me is Billy Connolly, because he talks about everyday stuff like going to the toilet, old people, you know, just stuff that happens, and he makes it funny. So a lot of comedians will run with a theme and they'll drift away from it during their performance, and they come back to it, and they drift away again and they come back to it, and at the end there's the punchline with the hour-long joke. And Roger Dangerfield was a very funny man. He was physically funny. He's one of the last physical comedians, and Jojo knows what I'm talking about. Just the expressions, his eyes were always funny anyway. Yes, it's like, I know Billy Connolly does a lot of toilet jokes. And he's not very well at the moment, Billy. He's in the last stages of Parkinson's, so he won't be with us forever. And he was a brilliant comedian, there's no question. Played a good ukulele. Yeah, Jim Owen's an Irish Australian, and he's very funny. He's a little bloke, actually. Another one is Carl, what's his surname, Kiwi? You know what I'm talking about. Carl Barron. He's funny. He's a bit like Jim Owen in many ways. But I get, when I go out and I get a good comedian, I have the time of my life. I just roll with laughter, and it's something, you know, you can go to a good show, you can go and watch, like, I've watched Cats, and that was fantastic, but not the same as the feeling I get when a good comedian's on a roll. And it is really, it gives you a belly laugh, and that night you remember. And then, unlike shows or movies, you'll remember the jokes. You don't remember much about movies, except maybe the poignant scenes or the exciting scenes. But a good comedian is like, you know, the old story, laughter is the best medicine. Yes, that's true. They only look at the covered parts. Yeah, we have a very dry sense of humour. We take the piss out of our friends. And the Kiwis are the same. They'll come on with a very dry expression, tell you a story. In fact, it's a joke. A lot of people go, yeah? What? And then you go, boom, boom. So humour is very dry in both countries. You tend to get it or not get it, if you know what I mean. But like I truly believe, laughter is a great medicine. Remember there was a documentary, you know, the one where the Japanese do this laughing, or the Chinese do this laughing therapy. They took some people who were really depressed on a holiday, and they're pretty excited going on a holiday, and it took them about a minute in this laughing therapy, and they laughed uncontrollably. There was nothing to laugh at, it was just people laughing, and it brought out the emotion in these very depressed people. I thought that was proof that laughter is the best medicine. One of my maintenance guys always tells the same stupid joke every time he sees you. Yeah. You get people that always tell the same joke. And they're the ones that say, "Did I tell you?" You go, "Yeah, 500 times." I think my neighbour is stalking me because, yeah. So you gotta do that video, mate. Laughter is the best medicine, or whatever you want to call it, but I'll watch it. Thank you, Patty. It's the only one I was given. Might have a shave. Patty got all this old growth forest. I'll take it back to New Land. Look at that. Hello. I'm the artist formerly known as Seeds. I won't call myself Prince though. Be copyright infringement for sure. Well, I think my bun will be nearly ready. Bun, B-U-N. I know what you're thinking. Sounds good, Jojo. It's something that we can go to other than just a hangout. And you're good at it. In the right context, I'll watch it and I'll be laughing. There'll be no one there except me and the screen. Oh, well, everyone's got blemishes, Patty. I've often been called a rough diamond. I'll accept that. There's certain things in my life I wish I hadn't done, as we all do. But on that note, and I wait with bated breath for Jojo's video, whatever it's called, to come out. Even if you do, I tell you, even if you do like because you don't want to do an hour one straight up, maybe just a 5-minute, 3 or 4 jokes. Maybe do a series of them. I don't know. I asked my North Korean friend how it was there. He said he couldn't complain on pain of death. All good people from the land down under. And from Orson Hooker's garden. Wish you're going alright. We will see you again another day. And Kiwi, rip the top off another one. It's been far too long between drinks. Have a good one, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.